All right, we are recording Sisterhood team call September 9. 9 days of craziness. I know there are so many teachers on here, so I just wanted to open it up by saying thank you to you guys, and I'm proud of you guys. I see so many of you showing up in a positive space, giving like hope and light to other teachers and to parents. So I just want to say thanks to all the teachers on this team, because I know there are so many of you guys and you're rocking it so far. Let's open it up to recognition for anybody that wants to take themselves off mute.
I'll go first. I just wanted to welcome my brand new coach, Lisa. I'm not sure if she's on the call tonight, but she signed up Friday. It is like guns a-blazing. Got SC points already on the board. Pushing for Emerald. I have a feeling there's going to be an announcement soon for her. I'm just so excited to have her join us. And yeah, thank you all teachers as well. I have to say that as well. Kudos.
I'd love to go.
Maybe I'll.
Oh, sorry, so go.
Oh, no, go ahead.
You sure? I just wanted to say thank you. Just wanted to say a massive shout out to our team cup. You girls like completely blew me away. What an incredible team to be with. Thank you so much for inspiring me every single day. We've had such a magical bond, and I thank you so much. So shout out to Marina, Jen, Ariel, and Jacqueline. I'm not sure if she's on. Love you, girls.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. Congrats to the top 2 team of Sisterhood. You totally represented every single one of us. You guys crushed it. So proud. Proud of the 2 Fire and Freedom teams and my coaches teams who totally rocked it. So such a great month.
And of course, I would like to shout out my Team Cup team who totally smashed it. I am so freaking proud of you all. It was such a fun experience, and I can't wait to do it again in February. Great job, girls.
I'd like to give a massive shout out to Jocelyn Mountain. She's on the call, I hope, right now. She hit Success Starter, and Jocelyn started in May, and she has just like been so determined and dedicated and showing up. And I just want to say I'm really proud of you and keep shining.
Just one more. Marina hit Diamond 6 weeks ago, and she locked it in today. So Diamond baby, 6-week call is yours.
Okay, I'll go. This is a teacher already in bed with like a double chin looking at you guys. So I'm going to be turning my video back off after this, but I just wanted to come on to shout out Shannon Howard. You are crushing it. Shannon made a decision. Like, Shannon's been a discount coach for a while, and then after COVID hit, and like last month, Shannon made a decision to start working this business, and she is crushing it, guys. Back-to-back success starter. She's coming out guns a-blazing, and I'm so proud of you, Shannon. I just want you to know, and you're noticed, and you're doing amazing, and we are so happy to have you as part of the Sisterhood.
I just want to give a shout out to Hillary Schick. She will be officially Emerald tomorrow, and I'm just so proud of you. And you've worked really hard for this, and you've earned it, and I'm excited to see where you go from here.
I will go. I wanted to give a quick shout out to Sierra. I am so excited for you that you have added your first working coach to your team, And honestly, just really proud of the momentum that you are building and everything you are doing. You're showing up consistently, and I'm just like watching you bloom, and it's beautiful. So I just wanted to encourage you and say, way to go. And then I also wanted to shout out the Sisterhood's brand new diamond coach, Deanna Matheson. So excited for you, Deanna. I looked at her downline this morning and I sent her a message and I was like, you're close. Like, you are so freaking close. And within 2 hours, she just made it happen. I'm so proud of you. I know that you are busting your balls. She's a full-time dentist running her own practice and really wants to do this full-time, wants to make this her reality. And I'm just really, really proud of what you're building. She shows up so consistently on IG and is totally killing it. So tomorrow it's official, but I'm so proud of you, Deanna. Way to go.
Okay, I have a few. I posted about it in the coach group today, but I want to give a massive shout out to Milen, who hit SC10 All-Star. Guys, that means she's hit SC10 every single month for a year. Like, for 12 consecutive months, there hasn't been a single month that she hasn't hit SC10. And if you guys know, it's probably more like SC20 because she is the bomb and goes after it hard and is killing it. So I am so proud of you. Congrats. That's amazing. Also, I like, this is a broken record, but massive shout out to the Team Cup teams. Like, Dominating Divas, you guys are so amazing and you inspire me so much. And I know that there's like, you guys worked really, really hard for this. So I'm so proud of you. And same goes for Team Limitless. You guys are just the bomb. And I'm so inspired by what you guys have done, like really coming together and working on a goal together. It's just so cool. So congrats. Also a broken record, but I have to say it. There's so many teachers on this team. Like, I was like writing them out because I didn't want to forget people, but there's so many. Like, there's so many. Chelsea, Erica, Sarah, Jen, Chantal, Ashley, Sharon, Elisa, Marianne. Like, that's just the girls that I know on my team. There's so many others. And I know that this is such a stressful, hard time. And I want you guys to know that, like, you're amazing. And what you guys are doing is bringing light to all of your educator colleagues. And I hope that you realize, like, you coaching and coming with a light positivity and bringing what you have to, like, you're just amazing. So not only are you doing amazing in your teaching job, but what you're doing as coaches for the other teachers is just in, like, Erica, stop. I'm serious. I think about you guys constantly, especially this week. Jake from corporate messaged me and he's like, how's your team doing? Like, how's everybody doing with the transition? How are things going? And I was like, you know what? It's hard. And yeah, it's a trying time, but there isn't a single coach I know that's a teacher that doesn't say coaching and this community is getting me through this. So it's all about your perspective. It is. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. You can look at it as, I have so many things to do. I have all of this. Or you can say, I get to be this light. I get to be a coach. This is getting me through this time. And I'm just so proud of all you guys. Anyways, I'll get off my soapbox on that, but it had to be said. Chantal goes officially 1-star diamond tomorrow after their 6-week qual. And I know that her and Marina have worked so hard on this. And I'm just like, so proud of you. You work so hard. You are a teacher as well. And this is a hard time right now. And I'm so happy for you. You earned this. You are going to Las Vegas. Let's hope that the world gets their shit together and you are going. I'm so proud of you. This was your big goal for this year. So way to go. Way to go. I have one more that's massive. And hopefully she's like not crying. It's just the oil in her eyes. But guys, tomorrow, Courtney officially hits her massive goal. I know you guys all know she's been working so hard at this all year and especially the last 6 weeks, but tomorrow it's official. Courtney goes 7-star and elite. And I know about 6 weeks ago, maybe I'd say 8 weeks ago, Courtney was crying to me saying, it's not going to happen for me this year. It's not happening. I don't think it's going to work out. And was just like, it's okay. We don't make it. Maybe this year is not going to be my year. And then literally she woke up the next morning and she was like, F that. I'm making this happen. I'm getting Josh to diamond. I'm going to make mom diamond. And she freaking made this happen. I want you guys to know Courtney is 7-star. but she has 5 diamonds on one side and only 2 on the other. And that's the thing about when you get higher up in the star diamonds, you need to have a certain amount on each side. So even though she's got a ton of rock stars on one side, you need it. Sometimes it comes down to logistics, and it depends on the people you have on the other side, right? And if, anyways, it wasn't happening. And she literally was like, woke up and was like, I can control this. I can make this happen. And I'm not going to let my business fall by the wayside. This is my goal for this year and I'm making it happen. And I'm so proud of you. Like, you busted your ass. I've literally known you your whole life. You've never worked harder at anything in your entire life. You've never worked harder. And I'm so impressed and so proud of you. This is exactly what you were meant to do. And tomorrow it's all happening for you. So you earned it. Way to go. That's all. That's all my announcement. Courtney, we can't hear you.
I have so much eucalyptus oil in my eye. I can't even contain it right now, for real. Like, my eyes are burning. I love you. Thank you so much. It was such a team effort. And you know what's cool is I have been writing. So since I entered that qual, I have been writing in my Start Today journal. Like, at the very bottom is like, what one goal are you working towards? It's going to get you to your overarching goal. And even though I was in that 7-star qual, I was writing every single morning, one new diamond coach before September 10th qual is over. And I've just been writing it and writing it and writing it and writing it. And then today, Deanna totally just, you know, like, everything came together for her and went diamond. And I'm like more excited about Deanna than my own goal, but it's just such proof for me that even on some days when I was writing that like smaller goal down below, I didn't believe it. I was like, I don't really see anybody really, like, you know, pushing hard enough to get there or whatever. And it still happened. Like, writing those goals down and sharing them and talking about them out loud. And like, even me sharing that elite goal on my social, I did that for a reason. I did that to like peer pressure myself into standing up and following through and doing this, because it would have been so much easier for me to just like wait and see if it happened and then announce it, right? So anyway, really, really exciting. We're going to be a double elite team, like in our 2nd year of coaching, which is so, so cool. And so many women on this team that are locking in Premier or have already and have the potential to be elite as well. So super excited. Tonight we are talking about Find Your Tribe, and Erin is going to kick it off for us. I think that the number one struggle that coaches come to me with, and I think the same with Erin, you know, when we were chatting, we were like, what's our team need to hear, is how to find working coaches, or even the belief that working coaches will come. So that's what tonight is about. We're going to talk to you about some tactical things, some mindset things, and some reality checks, hopefully, for you to feel prepared to move forward, show up, and find some working coaches. So, Era, I'll let you kick that off.
Cool. Yeah, I'm super excited. Okay, let's get right into this. Before we talk about how we're going to find these people who are going to want to build this business with us, I really want us to get clear on the who. So I want us, everybody get paper and a pen, or if you use your phone, whatever, but get something that you can write something down. We're going to do like an actual physical activity. And I want you to really think about having like amazing coaches on your team, and who that amazing coach would be. Like, what characteristics would this amazing person be on your team? Like, if you were like, I have this amazing person, I've hit jackpot, like they are the coach I want on my team, who is that? Take 30 seconds and write down all the characteristics that they would have. Are they hardworking? Are they super creative with their social media? Are they like really in tune with their clients? Are they very disciplined? Did they have a great transformation? Like, are they super committed? Do they show up every day? Like, whatever it is for you, what are you looking for in a badass, amazing coach? Who are you hoping, dreamland, that they'll join you?
All right, you guys have some things down there. You have an idea, like you can visualize this person that you are hoping to connect with. You are hoping that this person is going to join your team. Okay? Now I want you to look at the list. And I want you to truly give yourself a gut check and say, am I that person? Do I embody these characteristics? Am I showing up in this way? Am I this coach? Because I want to give you guys a real, true reality check. Winners join winners. And you will attract what you put out there. If you want somebody who's going to show up every single day, you yourself need to show up every single day. It has to start with you first, because people who are going to be super successful at this will want to join somebody who is super successful at this. And it's not to say that you have to be super successful today, but you need to show up and embody in the way that will attract other people to you. There's so much of this is the law of attraction. And whether you believe in that mumbo jumbo or not, I urge you to start at least showing up in the way that a coach would want to join you. I have this on my bulletin board all the time. Would you join your team? And it's a true gut check of, am I the leader that I want? Am I the mentor that I would want? It comes down to a lot of, are you putting out there what you're going to get back to you? I don't know if any of you guys are reading the Super Attractor book, but it's outstanding. Gabrielle Bernstein. It is a little bit mumbo jumbo, so if you're not ready for that, I get it. But so much of this is about energy and what you're putting out there in the world. Okay. So even if I want to say, like, thinking about, can you guys put in the chat maybe some of the characteristics that you had there so we can like kind of give me an idea of what you got? Oh, you got that book yesterday. Amazing. But truly, you want, that's it, organized, hardworking, determined, driven, dynamic. These are all things that I want you first to strive to be. Because the more that you embody this, the more other people who embody this will want to join you. There's very few coaches outside of us that I follow, but there's one coach that I follow like religiously, to the point now for the last few months, I've been watching her so much. I don't need to watch her stories anymore because it's so repetitive and I know her drill, but it's Holly Hillier, and she's the #1 coach right now. And you know what she talks about constantly? Is women who want big things, women who are looking for big businesses. She is projecting out there. She's like, I work with the hardworking, I work with the ambitious. If you're not ready for this, I'm not your coach. She's looking for, and she embodies that like big success. So other people who want big success are joining her. So if you think truly about what you want in a coach, you need to be that person first. I was also listening to a call today preparing for this, and it was Moira Kusaba, who was talking so much about energy, and about the energy that you put out is the energy that you bring back, is the energy that you attract back. And so it's so much so that she's like, I refuse any negativity in my life or in my team and at all. Like you speak of no negativity. She's like, if a coach is calling to vent or complain or be frustrated, she's like, stop there. Because the second you put word to that negativity, you're embodying the energy. And that's the energy that you attract. And I know that this is so much easier said than done. And maybe some of you who aren't that far in your personal development journey might be looking at this as like mumbo jumbo or whatever you want to say. But the second you focus on that negativity, you're embodying that negative energy. And that is in turn what you're attracting. So think about the words you use. Think about the things you're focusing on. Think about how you're showing up in this business and with what lens, with what mindset, because that is exactly what you're attracting. So give yourself a gut check on, am I attracting the right people to this? Am I attracting the people that I want to? Because so much of it comes down to that. A lot of this also is surrounding yourself with the right people, so that if you want to improve that energy, if you want to improve what you embody, it's surrounding yourself with the people who will lift you up.
And maybe your spouse or your colleagues or the people in your life aren't those people, but it doesn't mean that you can't have more inspiring people, more people who will lift you up on a regular basis. Like, for instance, maybe you see your mom or talk to your mom once a week. But if you have time every single day to like pour into a podcast or listen to Tony Robbins or listen to somebody who's going to lift you up, that person you are surrounding yourself with more often than your mom. And that person would go up there on that list of who's influencing you and your mindset. So be cautious who you're allowing in, be cautious on the mindset stuff, because it literally is the game changer. At this point, a lot of times it's like, well, I know, but I'm doing all these things and, you know, people aren't joining me, or they're not working as hard as me, or all these things. Guys, I want you to focus on what you can control. You can't control how hard people are going to work. You can't control who's interested in this business. You can't control any of that. All you can control is your consistency in this business, your mindset, your approach to it, the value that you offer your clients. Like, think about the things that you can truly control. And honestly, the top coaches, that's what they're investing in. And the more that you invest in that and focus on the things you can control, the other stuff you can't control, it bothers you less, because you know you can't impact that. I want to be really like super real with you guys and remind you that a lot of finding your tribe is patience. And I know that we have a lot of new coaches on here, and I'll be honest, we have a lot of like high achievers, people who normally see great success in their everyday life. That was me. And when I started this business, I'm like, I've always been successful at everything I do because I'm just naturally a hard worker. But in entrepreneurship, it's not like the harder you work that day, the greater success you're going to see that day. A lot of this is the delayed reaction that I talk about so much, right? And I want to remind you guys that after a year of being in this business, I was sitting in that summit in the nosebleeds as a diamond with no working coaches. So remind yourself, give yourself a gut check that a lot of this is patience. You need to wait for your challengers to have that transformation, to feel that change, to want to share it with other people. So many of your coaches will come from your client group, but you need to be patient for them to catch up to you and their transformation, right? Okay, I'm going to pass it over to Court, who's going to talk a little bit more concretely about how actually we're finding people.
Yeah, so, you know, I think I just want to echo Erin's being patient. It's so true. I was talking to a new coach recently who is doing really well and is saying like, you know, now I need to find working coaches. And I just want to remind all of you guys that this takes time. I didn't add Jen, Milks, and Erin were my first working coaches, and they didn't join me until about 5 months in. 4 to 6 months in. I think Erin joined, but she was like a discount coach kind of. And then Jen joined at about 6 months. And that really surprised me when I looked back at that date recently. I only looked back at it like a couple months ago. I was like, what was Jen's enroll date? And I was shocked because I felt like she signed up right away and I felt like everything was growing. And, you know, when some of my coaches started and they can't find a working coach, I'm like, oh, you know, but no. People need to watch you. They need to believe you. They need to know that you're actually doing this thing. And for that entire 6 months, I didn't just show up once in a while. I didn't just post my sweaty selfie. I was like doing the thing. I was posting like my meals every day, workout clips. I was talking to the camera like super embarrassingly. Like I was really showing up. And it wasn't for 6 months still that somebody decided to join me, right? So being patient, I think, is one of the most important things to finding working coaches, being patient and showing up. But also, while you're doing that, you need to be getting more eyes on you. And you need to be getting the right eyes on you. So I want to talk a little bit like tactfully about how to do that. In my first year of coaching, that was always the task I let go by the wayside. And in my second year, I really regretted that because I started to see that and I started to struggle to hit Success Club a little bit. or I would just like get to 6 or get to 12 and then just sort of coast because I was worried about next month. So in order to release that, and in order to know that your bench is constantly filling up, you need to be expanding your network. So, and, you know, I think too, like you have to look at it as quality over quantity. So when you're adding people to your network, and this is different for, you know, if you're a brand new coach, you're still going to be going to your friends lists and finding people that you know and adding people that you know. But I wouldn't be going through and just adding everybody, because honestly, like, you know, I saw in the coach chat today, someone was really upset because someone joined them and they were being super negative and this, that, and the other. And it's like, was that really your person to begin with? And maybe it was, but I just like am pulling that example. When you're adding women to your page, you should be thinking about, are they awesome? Do they embody some of the qualities that I just wrote down that Erin walked us through? Are they coach potential? Like, would I love them on my team? Would they be a great woman in my community? Even if they never ended up coaching, would they be just like a good energy, or could they really use this? You know, like be thinking about who you're adding. This isn't just like a follow. Okay, I've added 20 people today and now I'm disappointed that nobody's followed me back. No, you need to be a lot more intentful about who you're adding and how you're adding them in order to be creating new relationships, in order to be building your bench, because 99% of your working coaches are going to come from your community. So when I'm talking about adding people, yes, we're talking about finding working coaches, but you're looking for women to join your community first. And then what Erin said is you're being patient and you're letting them have, like, fall in love with the programs, and you're letting them get a transformation and decide that this is for them as well. So 3 things that I really like to, and I've asked them before in my Instagram, and it like invigorated me to start finding better people. And I just asked them again today, and I want to share with you guys is, if you feel like you're ready to start adding strangers to your Instagram, or even, you know, trying to look for women that are maybe like friend of a friend of a friend, I want you to ask your followers some of these questions. What brands do you love? What brands do you buy? Do you consume? What brands do you love for your kids if you're a parent? Or maybe there's something else about you, like if you're a teacher, maybe asking like, what's your favorite, I don't know, I can't even pretend to know the answer to that, but you know what I mean. What's your favorite social media account to follow? Start asking more questions in your social media to the women that are actually following you. Even if you have 50 women watching your stories right now, if they're coming back for a reason. They're probably your people. So whether they've joined you or not, they're watching you, and you should be asking them questions like this. Now, what are we going to do with all this information? So let's say someone answers like, my favorite brand is Aritzia. That's like my favorite clothing store. Let's say someone answers that. When I have time in my business, in my daily activity, which is on like your business activity tracker, is to expand your network, go to your list of brands and start going to those pages and looking for women that are engaging on those pages. Not even just following, looking for women that are engaging. Go to the comments section of some of the posts, and someone's that's saying like, love this or whatever. They're taking the time to engage on a social media post that is a brand. Those are the people that you want to start adding. Now, when you get to their page, look at their page, see if you like them, and then follow the 3-1-1 method. So you're going to like 3 of their pictures, you're going to comment on 1 of their pictures, and you're going to send them a message if that feels authentic to you. Sometimes I can't think of anything that really I want to send them a message about, and either that just means like I don't have my creative juices flowing, or they might not even be my person. Like if you can't look at their page and think of one thing, like if I look at someone's page and I really feel like they're like a cool person and I'm like think they're my vibe, they'll probably have something I love. Like, oh my God, I love that rainbow dress. Where'd you get it from? That can be your first message. It doesn't always have to be like a big blurb about you. Make this about them. And just the whole goal is to open a conversation. So is that going to find you a working coach today? No. This is all about expanding your network and being patient. Once you have them in your community, that's a whole separate call that we've talked so much about that you guys all do so beautifully. That's the exciting work, is getting in your community, adding value in there, encouraging them there, helping them get a transformation. And Erin's going to go through at the end maybe some tactful ways to be inviting your challengers. But the most important thing to finding your tribe is constantly expanding your network. In the first year of my business, and I say this all the time, but I think it's really important to remind you guys, I wasn't expanding my network the way I should, and I wasn't getting new eyes on my stories. So when I was constantly going through the viewers who are watching my stories, I was exhausted because it was the same people over and over. And when I hear people say like, send 10 invitations a day, send 20, I send 50, like I was like, where are you getting these people? You know, like where do I even find 20, 50 people to invite? It's because I wasn't expanding my network. So I want you guys to take a really good look at how much time you're spending on your business today. And if it's an hour, then you need to carve out at least 10 of those minutes to expanding your network. And in order to do that, start asking your community, start asking the people watching you, what are the things they love, and keep a list of those things so that when it's time to go expand your network, you're not like, where do I go? How do I find these people? What do I do? Go to those brands, go to those pages, go to those great IG accounts, and start following people that are commenting and engaging on those accounts. You know, a lot of people wonder about like hashtags and stuff. I use hashtags in my posts in order to get more engagement and in order to get stranger eyes on my posts. But if you think about your avatar, and if I think about mine, I wasn't using hashtags before I was a coach. Before I was a coach, I had like 100 followers and I only posted things about my kids, like very rarely. Like if I was using a hashtag, it was like as a joke, like hashtag like bad mom or whatever. I wasn't then like following that hashtag and looking to meet friends there, right? And your avatar probably isn't either. She doesn't really care about hashtags. So going to hashtags to find people, I haven't found to be super effective. And I think that you need to be really specific about the type of woman that you're finding. Like I find if I go to hashtags, I'm finding a lot of other network marketers. And that's exhausting. So this is just a little way to maybe tweak who you're adding to your network and to go from there. Okay, so now once you're adding people, now it's time to show up. And I want to go through sort of 4 things. If you are struggling to think about things that you can post about, if you're struggling about ways to talk about coaching, I want to give you 4 prompts that you can write down. And guys, if this is you, if you are like, what do I even post about? What do I even talk about? Like you know, if you are struggling with content, I want you in your notebook to have prompts like this to flip to, that you can, like, if you don't know what to do, to flip to this page, right? And to think about like, okay, I could create a post about this. So here are 4 prompts that you can follow in order to get talking about coaching more naturally. So the first one is your past. Excuse me. Why are you coaching? What was it about your past that brought you to coaching? And what was it about your past that's changed because of coaching? Like, what is coaching doing for you to change the past? So were you exhausted? Were you, you know, whatever it was, and creating that story. It's not always about an invitation as much as it is about storytelling. So today in my stories, I talked about how, like, when I was pregnant with Ainsley and before I had Ainsley, I was in a sales gig. I was always in my car and I didn't want that life. Like, I envisioned being home with my kids. I envisioned like having time freedom and being able to make my own schedule. And there's not necessarily an invitation attached, but I'm creating a story timeline of what this lifestyle has done for me so that people can start to see that in me. And if I've done a really good job about adding my avatar to my page and getting the proper eyes on my page, then this is going to relate to them. they're going to be like, yeah, maybe my past is their present. And they're going to be like, yeah, I am at my job right now. I do wish that I was at home going for a walk or doing whatever, or, you know. So number one is your past. Number two is your present. It's not enough, guys, to take a picture of a team call with 50 bubbles and be like, team call Wednesday night. Like, why are you on this team call? Tonight, it could be like, you know, team call Wednesday, learning how to build this business, learning how to expand my network, learning how to like find my tribe, like whatever it is, like get more specific about what you're actually doing. And like, even for the teachers going back, like a day in a life, like that is really effective, because so many people that might be thinking about coaching don't think they have the time. I know Erin didn't think she had the time, right? Like, what are you talking about, coach? Like, no, I can't add anything to my plate. So where are you fitting this into your day? And especially like your morning routine, and maybe talking in your morning routine, like, now that I'm back to school, I'm carving out an extra 10 minutes in the morning to focus on my coaching business. I'm inviting women to join my next challenge group. I'm like, start to get more vocal about what you actually do as a coach. And guys, by talking to the screen, it is the most effective way to communicate with your audience. And, you know, writing words on top, because a lot of people listen to stories on silent. So make sure that you're setting the highlights or a teaser with words on top of your stories, but talking about your present, talking about why you're coaching. If you are a coach and you're only posting workout videos, you're a challenger. And your IG is coming across as a hobby. So when Erin talks about like, would you want to join your team? I'm not sure that they would know that you have a team to join. And if you're insecure because you don't have a team and you don't have any coaches, like, take a look around this grid, because this is your team. And that's why you joined this team, because it's an incredible team to be a part of. So celebrate other coaches' successes. Like on Thursdays when everybody does the announcements, go in, save the graphics, talk about that in your stories. And don't just post the graphic, like say like, Thursdays is rank advancements. Thursdays is payday. This week I was able to buy groceries for my kid. This week I was able to enroll my daughter in gymnastics. This week I was able to put gas in my car where normally I would have had to use my paycheck or whatever. This is, you know, start to talk about your present and what coaching is doing for your life. So number one is your past. Number two is your present. Number three is your future. And this is something that Erin did with her lake house so beautifully, was casting that vision. If you're taking the time in your day to write in one of these gratitude journals that so many of us are writing in, don't you dare keep that on paper and not share that with the world, and not share that with the audience that you've built so hard to attract. Because the women that you've added that are your avatar, that are your type of people, they also want to dream big, but they might not know that that's even possible for them. Be audacious enough to put your goals on this screen and to share them with people. I also did this with my elite goal. And I've been thinking about how I can do that even further. Every morning I write down retire in San Diego, because that was a dream of, that's what, you know, Josh's family, they had a beach house in San Diego, and that's how he grew up as a kid in San Diego, running on the beach. And that's something we want for our family. But what's occurred to me is that I've never actually shared that. I might have once or twice, but like, I've never really created the story and the timeline. That's not going to happen for us anytime soon. Those are like $1 million houses, right? Like more than that, like that's something we're working towards. But imagine it happens in 2 years, and I've been talking about it for 2 years. And these people, my avatar that I've worked so hard to get into my stories, that have been watching me and following along, watch this happen for me. Erin's story viewers were up like double when she got her lake house, because people wanted to see her freaking dream come true. So if you're not sharing your goals, people have no reason to celebrate you. People have no reason to get excited about your journey, and they don't know that coaching is helping you make that happen. So regardless of how small or how big your goal is, make sure that you're sharing them out loud. And that's part of being vulnerable in this business, is being willing to share that goal, even if you don't hit it, even if it's not going to happen soon, whatever that is, right? You need to put it on this screen for your viewers to see, for your avatar to see, because you are creating the lifestyle of a coach and what it's doing for you. All these women that are joining you in your challenge group, we're going back to being patient. They need their time. They're watching you. Like, I have one woman right now in our challenge group. She is incredible. She loves leopard. She loves rainbows. She comments on every outfit I wear. Like, she's my person, but she's not ready. And she's shown a baby interest. And so I sent her the recording of the What Is Coaching call. And she said, I'll let you know when I watch it. And I'm being very careful with her. I'm not going to invite her to death. I'm not going to follow up to death, because I want her to come to this on her own. There have been coaches early on that have joined me that I felt like I convinced into this decision. And you know what happens with that? They don't show up. They don't work hard. They're not invested, because I basically convinced them to do it. When I started coaching, I decided I wanted to do it. And I just enrolled and messaged Kim and I said, I signed up. What's next? Right? So those are the type of people that you want. You need to start creating that vision in your stories. So number 1 was past, number 2 is present, number 3 is future, and number 4 is objections. This is another really good one to keep on your list, is the objections that you get and speaking to them in your stories. Like, when my coach invited me to join her challenge group, I didn't think I had the extra cash to make it happen. Like, you know, and talk about that story. So if someone's telling you that they can't afford to do it, talk about like you and why you made the investment to do this, or talk about a challenger that had success, that, you know, put this on a credit card and has now blah, 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 right? Like, talk about the objections in your posts, so that, like, when someone says, and especially with coaching, because the fear of judgment and the fear of putting yourself out there, all that stuff, that's like my biggest objection with coaching, right? And that's why I talk about fear so much in my posts, because it's usually when someone I really was hoping would say yes, said no. And that's when I go and I do that objection post. And I hope she thinks I'm talking to her, because I am. So those are the sort of 4 prompts that I want you guys to keep in your book, so that you can go to when you don't know what to talk about. And then honestly, it's time to give, to be giving value, creating shareable content. There's some brand new coaches that are sharing some amazing nutrition stuff that I've been seeing. I love it. It's incredible. I struggle with this all the time. I'm like, what value do I have? What to offer, you know? But it's just constantly trying to think up new things and creating content for your audience instead of for you. Like, what do you think your audience wants to hear? And honestly, you can be asking them that too. I've done that in my posts, in my stories before. Like, would you rather see before and afters or meal plans? Would you rather see like my outfit or my travel plans? Like, just stupid like polls to start engaging your customers. It's another really great, or your audience, it's another really great way to see who's going to click on the poll, because somebody that is watching you but doesn't engage with you and might be ghosting you might be willing to click on a poll about something completely irrelevant. And that lets you know that they still want to engage with you. So create a relationship with them outside of this and try to get them in, because if they're your people, they're watching, and eventually they will be your tribe. And then lastly, guys, is asking them. And I'm going to pass this to Erin, because she's got some great sort of ways to be inviting to coaching. But for women that are struggling to hit Success Club, to find women that join you, it really comes down to how many invitations you are sending to this business. If you're showing up and you're not sending invitations, you are shooting yourself in the foot, because every single person that's joined me needed permission to join me. They needed an invitation, and a lot of times they needed a follow-up as well. So make sure that you are doing that. Pass Darren.
Yeah. The whole time I was like, yeah. Like, I have a million things to add on to what you were saying. The reality is that that ideal person that we were talking about at the beginning probably like didn't go to university and graduate university and was like, I want to be a Beachbody coach. Right? Right? That person that you're like, this is my dream coach, probably is super reluctant and probably aspires to do something else or didn't think that this would be their life aspiration, right? Those people will likely say no to you at first. And you need to be prepared for that, that the great ones may take some time. So you have to show up and be patient because they are watching you. My favorite way to invite people to coaching is not to directly invite them. And I've talked to this point to a lot of my PS coaches, as well as on a lot of our calls. And I've even done something in the group about it before in our coach group. But ultimately, the best coaches are Beachbody believers. The best coaches are the people in your challenge group who love it so much. I don't know if Chelsea's on the call tonight. She's a teacher, but I knew the second that Chelsea joined our challenge group that she'd be a coach. Like, her sweaty selfies were just like so excited. She was so happy to be there. She was commenting on everybody else's stuff. Like, her energy, I could just feel it. Like, she loved it. She loved it. And I could tell even well before she knew that she would be a great coach and that it was like in her. Those are your people. So once you sign somebody up as a challenger, it's your job to watch, to see how they engage in the group, to see how they show up, to see how they're transforming, and to really help them get that great transformation, right? The Beachbody's whole mission is to help people live healthier and better, healthier, more fulfilling lives, right? If you do that and they feel transformed through that, that is when they're likely going to want to coach. So as people engage more in your groups or showing up more happily through, like with joy in your groups, I reach out to them and thank them, and like with gratitude and praise, like, you are what's making this group so great, because it's true, they are. And their energy is what is like adding to the group. It's like, it's inspiring for everybody else to see this one person so joyous and happy and contributing. It's true. So recognize them for them, thank them, thank them for their leadership, because they are in turn being a leader. And when you say those things, it's a very indirect way of saying, you're doing what I'm doing and I thank you for it. You have what it takes to be doing what I'm doing, and I recognize that. But it's a small indirect seed, right? Because like Courtney said, people need you want people to come to this on their own. So recognizing people, thanking them for their leadership, asking them to continue to share all the great value and content that they have, maybe their recipes, what they're having for dinner, any inspiration that they naturally do already, encourage that. Because the more they do that, the more they're starting to embody those coach behaviors. And then maybe eventually when you end up having a conversation about it, it's super natural because they're practically doing it already in the community. So that's one way. The other way that I like to talk about is honestly about relationships. Like, building relationships is this entire business. And the more that you get to know your challengers, what motivates them, what inspires them, maybe the reason why they would coach, the more likely you are to have a genuine, honest, real conversation into why this may be beneficial for them. When I've approached Milan about coaching a lot, even though I was like very cautious and trying not to get her to do it, I just knew that she would be great at it. She had such a good story. She was so inspiring, and I knew she would help so many people. But I came about it the wrong angles, I think, because ultimately I learned that what really influenced Milan to do this was when she learned how much money she could make. And as a single mom, money every month was tight for her. And I didn't even kind of consider that angle. I was like, you're so inspiring. You're going to help so many people. And yeah, that's great. But for her, she was like, I'm a single mom. Money's tight. And you're saying that I can make an extra couple $1,000s a month doing this. Yeah, I'm interested. Right? But you need to build your relationships with your challengers well enough to know what motivates them, why coaching maybe would be beneficial for them. And that really just comes down to connecting with your challengers, getting to know them, getting to know their story, getting to know what's going on in their life. So relationships.
It's all about relationships. Okay, let me look at my notes here because I want to make sure I don't.
Can I just ask you, Erin, to share, because you sort of have a really like tactful 3-step system where you sort of prompt them, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, are your friends and family starting to notice that? Can you share that?
Yeah. Okay, so like I was saying, during the 3-week challenge group at the beginning, if I notice that they're like Chelsea and they're super excited to be there, that first week I'll thank them. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for like contributing. You're making this group so great. Like I was saying, that second week is when I thank them for their leadership. I ask them to continue sharing, or I ask them to share. Help me out with the group. You're doing so great. You have so many great tips, values. I appreciate you. And then near the end of the challenge group is when I like go back to them again and talk about how inspiring they've been throughout the whole group, how they're feeling. I always ask, how are you feeling? How do you feel throughout this? Now we're getting to the end. How do you feel? Because it's all about asking them questions and getting them to open the dialogue and share and like really open up where they're at. And as they say, I feel great. I feel like I've never felt this good, all of the things, then I say, that's so amazing. Have your friends and family started to notice a difference in you? It's like my favorite question to ask, because then they get even more excited to share. Yeah, my husband noticed, or yeah, my girlfriend at work asked me this, or whatever. Like, you're just getting them to talk. And then from there, I'll often say something, depending on the conversation and the person, like you have to feel it out. But have you ever considered that maybe people in your life would be like, would want to do this with you? Do you think anybody else would want to do this with you? Like, our next challenge group starts this day. Do you think anyone in your life would be influenced or inspired by your transformation? And it's opening up that dialogue, opening up the conversation to talk about the fact that they've done something outstanding and amazing and they're feeling transformed, and maybe planting that seed of your transformation could help somebody else. Have you considered that what you've done is now impacting other people? And that directs, like, seeds plant into coaching, and the coaching discussion happens later, but it's really just opening up the dialogue of who could you help, who in your life would want to do this too. So yeah, I've done a call, or just a short video in the coach group. If you want to look it up for more detail. But ultimately, my last tip in finding your tribe is you need to ask those scary, scary people, the people that you are like, damn, she would be so good at this, but I'm petrified she's going to judge me for asking. They're going to say no. I'm going to tell you right now, they're likely going to say no the first time, but if you don't ask, you risk them. Like, think about the one main person you're like, oh, I would kill for her to do this with you. How would you feel if I told you that they joined me because I asked them? And then you were like, shit, I never even asked her. Do not let that happen. Do not let somebody else ask them. Because they're your person. And they should be joining you. But if you don't ask them, it's never going to happen. That's it for me. Courtney, did you want to add anything to that?
No, that's awesome. I do want to just quickly highlight the guide that Jen created and shared in Coach Corner. Guys, I wish that we had had the tools right when we started available to us to edit and create and make our own, like have been provided lately. So if you haven't seen that, I'm going to post the link in the actual coach group, but Jen created a welcome guide that you can edit and make into your own. So it'd be like, welcome, like, you know, I'm Chantel, this is my, you know, but it really just gives every single person that joins you all the things they need to feel prepared to start this journey. Because finding your tribe equals creating Beachbody Believers. And if you are a new coach and you don't know how to onboard somebody, this is such a helpful tool. So, and especially if you're like thinking of starting your own group, but you don't think you don't know what to do, like use all the tools that are available and ask in Coach Corner, like, get in there and get active and ask questions, because there's so many amazing women in there that have the answers for you and that are willing to help like so quickly. So yeah, just thanks again to Jen for that. And I think that's it, guys. I hope everybody has an incredible day, and we'll talk soon.